Hello and welcome. Today you will improve your English speaking and listening skills with a very exciting mystery. We will use a powerful method called the shadowing technique. First, listen to this gripping story. At the end, I will show you how to pause and repeat each sentence to practice your pronunciation. Be careful though. Today's story begins with a small mistake, a mistake with a key that changes everything. Subscribe now, get ready to practice, and let us begin. My name is Leo. Today started like any other day. I walked into my favorite cafe at 10 a.m. The cafe was warm and smelled like sweet coffee. I sat at a small wooden table near the window. I ordered a hot black coffee and a muffin. The cafe was very busy. Many people were talking, laughing, and drinking. A man sat at the table next to mine. He wore a long gray coat and a black hat. He looked nervous. He kept looking at his watch every minute. On his table, there was a black cup of tea and a set of keys. The keys were very unusual. They were made of old brass and had a heavy blue ribbon. Suddenly, the man stood up quickly. He spilled some of his tea on the table. He looked shocked. He grabbed his bag and ran out of the door. I looked at my watch. It was 10:30 a.m. I needed to go to work too. I quickly picked up my phone, my wallet, and my keys from my table. I put them in my pocket. I walked out into the cold rain. I took the bus to my office. I worked all day. At 6 p.m., the workday finished. I walked back to my apartment. The sky was dark. The rain was still falling. I walked up the stairs to my front door. I put my hand in my pocket to grab my keys, but my hand touched something strange. I pulled the keys out of my pocket. My heart stopped. These were not my keys. They were old brass keys on a heavy blue ribbon. I gasped. I took the wrong keys from the cafe table by mistake. I was very confused. How did I get inside my apartment building? Then I looked down at my feet. There was a package on my doorstep. It was not a cardboard box. It was a beautiful, heavy box made of dark wood. It had no name on it. It had no address. But in the center of the dark wooden box, there was a large brass lock. I knelt down on the cold floor. My hands were shaking. I looked at the brass key in my hand. Then I looked at the lock on the box. They matched perfectly. Why was this box on my doorstep? Who put it here? I picked up the box. It was very heavy. I unlocked my apartment door using the spare key in my shoe. I carried the heavy box inside. I put the box on my kitchen table. The apartment was very quiet. The only sound was the rain hitting my window. I held the brass key. I put it slowly into the lock of the box. It turned with a loud click. I opened the lid of the box. Inside, there was a layer of soft red velvet. On the velvet lay a small black smartphone and a gold ring. Suddenly, the smartphone screen lit up. It was vibrating. Someone was calling the phone inside the box. I felt cold sweat on my face. My hand shook as I reached for the phone. I pressed the green button and put the phone to my ear. "Hello?" I whispered. A deep, quiet voice answered. "Do you have the ring, Leo?" I froze. How did this person know my name? "Who is this?" I asked. "You have the wrong number. I found these keys by mistake." The voice laughed softly. It was a cold, scary sound. "There are no mistakes, Leo," the voice said. "The man in the gray coat was not careful, but now you are in danger." "What do you want?" I shouted. "The ring," the voice said. "Keep it safe. Do not leave your apartment. We are coming." The call ended. The phone screen went black. I looked at the gold ring in the box. It looked very old, with strange letters carved inside. I walked quickly to my window and looked down at the street. A black car was parked directly across from my building. The headlights of the car turned on. I saw a man step out of the back seat. He wore a long gray coat and a black hat. He looked up at my window. My heart beat fast. I needed to run, but where? I grabbed my coat. I took the phone, the ring, and the keys. I ran to my back door. It led to the dark alley behind the building. I opened the door and ran down the wet metal stairs. I could hear heavy footsteps inside my building. They were going up to my apartment. I ran into the rainy street. I did not look back. I ran for 10 minutes until I saw the bright lights of a police station. I ran inside, breathing heavily. The warm air hit my face. An officer looked up from his desk. "Can I help you, sir?" I put the wooden box, the keys, and the gold ring on his desk. "Please," I said. "Someone is chasing me." The police officer looked at the gold ring. His eyes opened wide in surprise. "Where did you get this?" the officer asked. He walked to a computer and typed quickly. He pointed to the screen. I saw a picture of the gold ring. "This ring was stolen from the city museum yesterday," the officer said. "It is worth $1 million. Just then, the small black smartphone in my pocket vibrated again. I pulled it out and showed it to the officer. He took the phone and answered it. He put it on speaker. "Leo," the voice on the phone said, "you went to the police. That was a big mistake." The officer spoke immediately. "This is the police. We know who you are." There was a long silence on the phone. Then the line went dead. The officer looked at me. "Do not worry, Leo. You are safe here. You did the right thing." They gave me a warm cup of tea. I sat in the police station for 3 hours. The police used the GPS on the smartphone to find the black car. They arrested the man in the gray coat and his partners. It was the longest night of my life. The next day, the sun was shining. The rain was gone. I went back to the cafe. I sat at my favorite table near the window. I ordered a hot black coffee, but this time I kept my keys safely inside my bag. I looked at the empty table next to mine and smiled. I learned a very important lesson. Always check your keys before you leave. Now it is your turn to practice. To speak English with confidence, we must practice active speaking. I want you to rewind this video to the beginning of the story. Listen to one sentence, pause the video, and say the sentence aloud. Try to copy my pronunciation, my speed, and my emotion. Do this every day and your English speaking will become powerful. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories. Thank you for watching and keep practicing.